But what's interesting is we have seen that duo play together before. It was subbing out Sven for Blabber that started that Cloud9 winning streak. Of course, he's looked better so far in playoffs. He's back in now. He won the Academy Finals as well in North America. But tougher competition now against Xmithy, arguably the most successful jungler in NA history.
We are almost back to the original Cloud9 roster, save for Smoothie in the bottom lane, who was traded off the team. But now, into game number 3, must-win situation for Cloud9. And Jensen's back in, Zillion is back out. They ban him once again.
It'd be interesting to see if C9 does go for the Twitch 3 straight games. Sneaky has been performing very well in lane with Zeyzal. They got kills on their own in the bottom lane in both Game 1 and Game 2, but it felt like things started to fall across the map and they never really had vision control. They're losing neutral objectives, so they're never really able to get to that late game for the Twitch.
Well, this leaves up the Thresh that they had been worried about earlier in this series. Team Liquid get the chance to play Gangplank now themselves, willing to give away the Braum and pick Morgana into it.
Ooh. Or are they just daring Cloud9?
Wow.
Once again, it's a bit of a taunt here because Cloud9 first picking in game number 1, the Gangplank, and then moved away from it, knowing that impacts, regardless of the situation, on Sion, such an incredible front line and difficult to get around. They felt they had to match it previously. Urgot has had a rise. We've seen it in the LCK predominantly.
I actually might like to see Cloud9 still go for a Gangplank, though. Ashe does not have very good escape tools. I think you can actually put together a comp where you can pressure down to the bottom lane. I think Ezreal Braum can do that, and with a Gangplank ult, you can chase her down.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And also the opportunity again to bring in something like the Lee Sin, much easier to attack on Ashe as that jungler than it is a Kai'Sa, who has the invisibility on the E as well as the dash away on that ultimate that can make it a lot tougher to get those kicks.
And when Team Liquid first picking this Ashe for double lift, it made Sneaky think of something longer range because Ashe has very good early lane phase with the volley. You can go for very strong, quick trades. Ezreal, though, can poke from afar or has the option to jump in with Braum and you can call your jungler and you have more numbers.
Ole on comfort yet again here in this one. It's Morgana from before, back to his Thresh that was getting banned earlier. Alongside Ashe this time around. Does Team Liquid grab the Sion before the ban phase? They will. 3 straight Sion games for Impact, and they have all been good so far.
They have been very, very good, and Ole in the semifinals on his Thresh was really on point, hitting hook after hook after hook. So C9 gonna have to be careful about that, and may need to look towards some QSSs with both the threat of the Ashe Arrow as well as that of the Thresh Hook.
Plus, a big part of Thresh here, combined with Ashe, who does not have a jump of her own, no safety there. The Lantern is very big in repositioning for these team fights where Team Liquid, they always have this focus on double lift and keeping him safe. Now, we'll have to watch the position of both him and Ole to try and combine for peeling.
So Cloud9 giving those Sion away, but playing much more to counter-pick this. Trundle, of course, incredible against giant frontline tanks, and Sneaky, who had been mostly unable to dodge Sion Qs, now on the Ezreal should have a much easier time getting away from those stuns and keeping his uptime.
Skarner banned out here as Cloud9 want to whittle down on the options that Xmithy has to pick. There are desynced roles in early champion select, and taking the Trundle early, very strong opening here from Cloud9. I think the Olaf might be their second jungle ban, as that one would provide a lot of early pressure still, even in the face of Trundle.
Also possible to see them ban away the Malzahar, right? You know, we had been worried, a lot of people talking about Pobelter being able to neutralize mid lane on the Malzahar and use bottom lane as a win condition. It's been C9 going to the pick twice in a row, but if they don't want to grab it, they may want to take it away. And it's not going to be either, as they want to take away Graves, another kind of aggressive power farming jungler.
Well, they're leaving Olaf up, but Trundle traditionally seen as a counter-pick into Olaf jungle, so Cloud9 happy to let Smithy pick the champion, otherwise they would have banned it away.
All right, what are Team Liquid going to take off the board here? Solo laners still left for Cloud9, and it is top lane focus. Licorice, so many games recently in these playoffs on the Ornn. Cloud9 have relied on it for that long range engage, and his laning phase has also been very strong with it.
They really have, and there are other options to end the top lane we have in other regions seen. Obviously, Cho'Gath is very common, but things like Gragas, he can go as well. Cho'Gath would be kind of the most standard of the options, and now that you've kind of taken away the Trundle, and you also have the Cho'Gath Feast, that combo against one-tank teams I always think is incredibly strong in team fights. You reduce the resistances, you take away that HP with the Trundle, and then you can focus him down with that Feast.
Yeah, Team Liquid might want another tanky member to go along with it and play that front line, because again, Ashe, not a lot of mobility, and they really need to set up the battlefield in an advantageous situation for Doublelift to be able to have his uptime dealing damage.
One of my big questions here is, does Jensen just go back to something like that Malzahar and look to kind of play for the team? Or in this match point game, do you go for something like an Assassin? Do you go for something aggressive here against the Rise and try to dominate in the 1v1? This was supposed to be one of the areas that C9 had the advantage in that mid lane.
I don't know if Assassin matchups are often that great into Rise. Instead, it might be more of a team fighter. We'll see what he actually wants to go for here. Corki could actually work pretty well in terms of just whittling down a front line. Ezreal's plenty of physical, Corki plenty of magic.
He does have to keep in mind his defenses, because Gragas from the jungle and Rise in the mid lane is such a crazy combination.
Okay.
The Rune Prison, the Body Slam flashes. He's going to be huge DPS here on Cassiopeia, but also has to be very careful. The long-range poison has been so good against Rise, even through all the reworks that we've had with both of these champions and the changes for both the champions. Cassiopeia has been one of the longest standing counter picks into that Rise.
Yeah, I really like the pick, not only for the lane, but again, we have talked about the focus on killing frontline here for the C9 composition, the Trundle, the Cho'Gath, and now the Cassiopeia, one of the best mid laners in the game, and focusing down those frontliners. And this will be a powerful 5v5 composition, but you also have to remember, you could have Rise in the side lanes. It could be TL trying to split the map, look for picks with the Ashe arrows, and really avoid that 5v5.
Well, this could be the final champion select of the LCS 2018 season. Team Liquid a game away from completing the 3-0 sweep and knocking down 3 different permutations of that Cloud9 lineup. C9 relying on veteran skill and instinct. Svenskeren and Jensen back together here alongside this year's rookies in Zeyzal and Licorice. Sneaky, hoping to match up well against Doublelift, though he has not in the past. Game 3 about to be starting. This trophy on the line. A trip to Worlds on the line for Cloud9. We know Liquid's going as number 1 and number 2 to be decided here. Oakland is ready. We are ready. The players are as well. Let's get ourselves into Game 3.
Have to remember also those Worlds implications. 100 Thieves going to be watching with bated breath. If TL wins, they also auto-qualify in with that second spot for North America.
All right, Cloud9, all of their hard work this entire summer with motivation issues, changing rosters, working together, training, comes down to this. And Team Liquid, looking to defend their championship, only have known winning since forming as a team, and they want to keep the streak going.
Team Liquid, one of the few super teams that have actually borne fruit in League of Legends. They grabbed Impact from Cloud9, couldn't win a championship with them. Obviously won Worlds several years ago with SKT, and is on his way back to Worlds once again now on Team Liquid. McSmithy, arguably the most successful jungler in North American history, with a win here, gets 4 trophies, the most of any jungler in North America.
And it would move Doublelift to 5, tying him with Bjergsen for the most all-time in the LCS. Doublelift also grabbing the MVP honors yesterday. You know, checking those boxes to be in that conversation for the best player in North American history.
And Doublelift, the only guy to do it on 3 different teams. He has constantly had to prove himself. Kicked off of CLG, won with TSM. Kicked off of TSM, won with Team Liquid. Here we go, though, walking to a tri-bush.
They're gonna find the Q onto Ole, but not chasing through into that one. Not a ton of extra skill shots, nice juke on that Q as well. And after that leash towards Gragas, Smithy's gonna be taking Krugs for his first non-buff camp.
How it works in trading here with the Ashe, by the way. You fire off your volley, you get your lethal tempo proc going with your very quick trades and burst of power. Ezreal, though, you keep your distance, firing off mystic shots. Oh, nice play, actually.
Play into 2 autos, ignite on as well. Sneaky is getting really low in this one.
No heal,
he's got to respect a flash auto, and he's going to stay alive running through that potion.
And this duo has been so good. We talk all the time about double lift, but Olay in the first game there with the Morgana flashing out of the brush, getting their kill back. Now with Thresh, forcing summoners and forcing health trades with Cloud9.
And Sneaky is out of potions now here. Remember, he is running teleport, not the heal. If he were to get caught by another flay, another hook, you may see them flash forward and look for that first blood.
Sneaky wants to wait until he can TP back for a tier. He's not going to burn that until he has that 800-ish gold needed for that upgrade, but it's going to be a while, especially with the lane looking this bad. We check in on the top side as well. Licorice has had a hard time fighting Impact. Even with the ganks that Svenskeren was giving him over in game 2, not been able to be the stronger player so far. Sven now looking to invade, wants to fight this one. Level 3 on both these. Now Smite is up and available. There's going to be the battle coming through. Smithy gets this one, and now the fight in the mid side as well. Pavel's pushed out, and the fight continues. A flash out from Smithy, has a blast cone. He's going to be fine. And out he goes.
Yeah, if not for that blast cone, Jensen might have opted to flash follow. Smithy, though, chased out of his own jungle, and even though he gets away alive, Svenskeren gets to claim the rewards, farming the Gromp, doing some counter jungling.
And you have to wonder, if that is in game 1, do they both flash for that? Do they look for the first blood? Knowing that this is the elimination game, they may be playing a little bit more.
The pillow's on top of him, body slam. I don't know if it's available, but either way, Smithy able to kite backwards. Now that hook, and it's gonna find him. The fly backwards, the shield comes up. Sneaky will stay alive, but big damage out of the TL bot lane.
Olay, again, so threatening with that brush control, and Svenskeren playing aggressively takes also the big wolf.
2 camps taken to the top scuttle's his to claim as well, plus the rest of his jungle. For the first time, McSmithy is actually behind in the jungle matchup, something that TL have been relying on in this series. Can Svenskeren finally neutralize this player?
So far, things looking pretty good in that mid lane for Jensen, and definitely a big part of why Svenskeren is able to have that pressure is the fact that the Cassio is pushing Pobelter in. It makes it harder for him to actually roam and try to answer that, but hook after hook, Zeyzal getting pushed out and likely going to see this C9 duo have to go back to base here.
Yeah, of course, Velbuk not available till 6 minutes, but Sneaky should have enough for tier on his recall. Hawkshot reveals Smithy will get a Gromp. That's a nice little something for him. Sneaky gets back to lane without too much of an issue here. TL's going to match that recall.
Yeah, Smithy, something we bring up a lot with him too, is his poise on stage. And he is one of the most untiltable players. Impact also playing very cool under pressure there. He has to teleport to get back. But Smithy, on this stage, even after getting counter jungled, he can move to the opposite side of the map, go get the counter Gromp here, and leave behind, again, vision. It's all about these wards. So many deep wards from Team Liquid that have led to the success in this series. He started out very early working with both Pobelter and Olay for it, and now they once again have a big setup that has seen this move in the works from Cloud9.
They're moving Zeyzal up, though. They may want to look for a play here onto Pobelter. Remember, Pobelter not running cleanse this time around, so if you could get a Braum Stun onto him, he could be in trouble.
But again, he saw them come through their own jungle on the wards, so they know that he should be playing defensively and should be playing to the top side away from that possible gank.
Smithy is actually laying a trap here for Zeyzal. We'll see if they can actually make this happen.
No fight. He's going to go back around the long way, realizing that can't go through the lane through the river. Smithy will not find the gank and will walk by a ward himself. So he knows Trundle's been down here and knows there's probably some wards on him.
And good job this time here. Svenskeren on the Trundle counter jungled most of the Raptor camp and left some vision around of his own to be able to see Smithy. So they can track Smithy. They know he's going to the top side now. And Cloud9 can be a little bit safer.
Well, 3 camp lead for Svenskeren. That is the biggest Cloud9 have had so far, and it might be an early pressure out of the bot.
Going in.
Comes in as well. Sneaky does still have his flash, and he gets Zeyzal back to safety as the TP is now canceled out of Impact. That was a big window. Keep in mind, Licorice had actually used his full teleport channel to get back to lane earlier, so that was a TP disadvantage entirely, but Impact gets nothing out of it.
Yeah, Impact trying to make a big play for the team there, but Ezreal did have flash also, and the numbers were kind of equalized there, so they call it off. And it should be a decent CS there for the top lane for Licorice. He has a little bit of a lead so far.
I will be interested to see how TL wants to utilize this first Ashe ultimate. As Double hits 6, as Olay hits 6, Smithy hits 6. There's so much playmaking with that group of players. They could look to roam mid and try to get a play. They could try to attack bot and go for that Ezreal or Braum as well. So a lot of options on the table for them, and we'll have to see how they want to use it.
And until then, we just keep seeing the Hawk shots fired off for some extra alerts here for Team Liquid. Cassiopeia in the mid lane does have a cleanse for one of the crowd controls, whether it be the Ashe Arrow or the Rise Rune Prison.
And Blue's going to be handed off without much of an issue. 15 CS lead in the mid lane, still 2 camps up in the jungle. And considering that Team Liquid are basically map hacking with this Ashe pick, the fact that Svenskeren is still doing so well in the matchup is extra praise for him because it's artificial pressure out of the bot lane on this one. Now Smithy sneaking through, does not get spotted by any wards. Predator is on, going for Licorice. The first stun's going to be landed, and now Cho'Gath ready to go. The knockback is there. He does not have a way out of this one. Going to go for a little bit of damage. He's going to flash and burn it, but he's got to surely burn down. The flash trade impact grabs first blood.
And Team Liquid are able to get it play on the top side of the map once again. Impact moves up early. They get the slowdown, and Smithy just runs right in front of him with the Predator. No way out for Licorice.
Yeah, such a difference maker in this game. Smithy, that's one of their losing lanes up there. He gets up top, he turns it around. First blood on Impact means he's going to be well ahead in the gold, and a lot of this is feeling like it's going to be up to Jensen. Bot lane is losing, top lane has now been equalized, and he's the only one really with the lead.
So just watch this too. On top of this, Smithy did not even have to use his ult or flash. They still had more answers left. Just walks right up because Impact got a very nice point blank ultimate. After that ultimate hits, Licorice gets knocked up and back a little bit. There's no way that he's going to get out of that. And now, Gragas with Flash and ultimate can make another play elsewhere on the map. Cloud9 still have to be very careful.
So impressed with Impact there in that fight. He actually stopped the Q channel early, expecting there might have been a flash, and he was right. That extra damage actually crucial in getting the kill. Beautiful stuff here, but with the Cloud9 bot and mid pressure, we're able to finally get some Drake control of their own. So rarely in this series, but this time Cloud Drake goes over to C9.
Cloud9, pretty good consolation prize here for the Cloud Drake. They move up with their bottom lane, able to get control of lane, as well as Cassiopeia here. Jensen again subbed back in. He's got the CS lead with his counter pick over Pobelter.
He's coming back though. Remember, no flash here on Licorice.
Easy body slam and easy slow on top of that one. He doesn't have a way out once again. The damage keeps stacking up. Yeah, he's looking for the feast, but he's gonna be stunned, slowed up, and the kill goes over to Smithy.
Calmly played once again, and Smithy still holds on to both those cooldowns. Bottom side though, Cloud9 looking to make another move.
Maybe Licorice, he had no ward down. He was pushing very far up there, and you have to be very careful about that. With no vision on the top side of the map, you need to expect that Smithy could be around once more.
Svenskeren now going to bring Jensen in as well. They've got the Blast Cone, 4 versus 2 on a potential dive.
Defensive vision for Team Liquid doing work here.
The recall comes through. Now Svenskeren could be alone. He goes to the Blast Cone. He's going to have a way out. And that Trundle is safe, but now watch for a play on the bot side. Hook's going to come forward. Good arcane shift, keeps Sneaky safe.
Yeah, Olay playing some mind games here. He just throws that hook right at him. Ultimate actually does come through here for Sneaky trying to push the lane. Might want to get a recall off after this.
Trundle's holding in case there is a gank. A quick spellbook over to Clarity. Their mana pool looks nice once again.
It's pretty nicely done there. Again, just getting that rotation on that spellbook, cycling through those summoners, trying to get the pool down low, and they're really just trying to focus on pushing in that bottom lane. That's why you see those ultimates used by Ezreal on the minion wave. They want to keep Doubleth and Olay under their turret. They want to keep their solo lanes, winning in those 1v1s. And we'll see if they're going to be able to do that.
Still fighting back and forth in this top side. Licorice again equal in farm, but certainly not holding Impact down. 1-0 and 1. Those ganks have borne quite a bit of fruit. Looking again at mid, then again at bot, and this time around, this could be a stun. It's going to land him. Zazel cleanse it. Able to walk away, and that is why he brought Cleanse as his official summoner on top of the spellbook.
Yep, able to get out of that one pretty easily. Predator was also used this time around from Smithy on the bottom side. This Ezreal Braum is so incredibly hard to gank as a duo if they're playing defensively. Vision, again, is going to see this roam from Cloud9, but they still have 4 members down here, so they can just push Team Liquid off the turret.
Yeah, and Trundle does a lot of turret damage here with the Chomp working on turrets, as well as that W giving the attack speed, but they're going to have to pull it off. And again, so much of this series really has felt like the Vision game being won by TL, tracking them for offensive plays, tracking them to back off at all the right times, and so much credit really has to go to Smithy, to Pobelter and Ole, getting all the vision around this area.
And the bottom lane in general, Doublelift playing defensively when necessary. He's still up in CS. He plays offensively and for the lane and for pushing in when he knows where the enemy is, but when he has to play safe, that also is something that you need to reward and recognize, because Team Liquid have spent their jungler on top side, gaining the advantage there. Smithy ganking 2 times up on Licorice on the top side, and Doublelift having to play without pressure and avoid these mid lane roams. Definitely speaks wonders when he's 0-0-0 in an unpressured situation.
Definitely doing very well for themselves. At the same time, you can see C9 obviously tier buy in the mid lane for Jensen, tier buy in the bottom lane for Sneaky. They're going to be stacking that up, and when those items are completed, it's a very big power spikes for both the Cassio as well as the Ezreal, and they could look to be fighting around 2 items. I think that is a very strong point in the game for a lot of these C9 champions.
Nice pickup there as Doublelift knocks down the defensive control ward and gives more opportunities for Smithy to sneak in there. Have to give respect to those potential ganks. Right now, though, Smithy is tracked. He is spotted and runs right back out of that top side. Impact, we've seen this before. You can take the singed away from Impact, but you can't take the play style. Gonna knock that away behind the turret.
Proxy Scion coming to solo queue near you.
He's back at it again, but remember the most important part of that is what he can do afterwards, because you're gaining time by killing the wave so early, but now Cloud9 want to make him pay for it. Can they slow him down enough?
Well, actually burns the flash, not the ult to get away from this one. Impact does get out of the knockup, but yeah, is punished and penalized a flash for that proxy. Okay. 700 gold difference here. Cloud9 though up a Drake. Maybe a bit of a wash here as time continues on. Nice arcane shift once again. Late game wise, I think it's pretty close here. There's some really good tanks on both sides. Smithy going for the very standard AP Gragas build into Zhonya second.
I would argue, though, definitely in the 5v5, I think if it is frontline versus frontline, Cloud9 has a heavy advantage with the Cho'Gath, with that Trundle, shredding down this Scion, and then Cassio for the added frontline damage. But TL can find picks with the Ash Arrows. They can play side lane with the Rise. Big engages from Smithy, so there's a lot of X factors to be had here for TL. C9 really want to control vision and make sure they know what they're walking into when they choose those fights.
Yeah, the setup is going to be so big. The reason Team Liquid first picking this Ashe, yes, it has a strong lane phase. You can push in with the volley lethal tempo, but also this long-range pick. Smithy moving around for a possible tower dive. Predator used.
He's going to find a damage with the Q. The slow comes through, and this turret getting lower and lower down to below 1/4. A little bit more pressure, and TL get first turret in this lane. So Cloud9 reacting. They find a ward to kill. And I think they might have given away that Jensen was here too.
It's just a nice bit of damage there from Doublelift and Ole onto the turret. Smithy just walking around the backside, doesn't have to commit to anything. Simply roll a barrel, only have to respect the potential of that all-in, allowing Doublelift to step up with that Q and be able to just get that damage down on the turret. And they have it very, very low.
Walter has a flash. Pillar's going to come up, slow him down a little bit. Can easily walk away. No pickup here for C9, and it gives more pressure to TL on the bot lane as Gragas is right down there again. Impact roams to mid to make sure nothing else can happen.
You can see the pings on the map, though. Cloud9, they are calling it. Licorice saying, hey, Impact is heading down from the top side. Watch out. Bottom lane, though, this might be the site.
Well, they're thinning down the wave, though. No minis left the tank means no dive easily available, but it's still getting whittled down, that turret, at about 200 HP.
Remember that Smithy is not a tank on this Gragas. He's always gone for this AP build, and now he's getting...
Dives right, not going to get the stun, though, and able to walk away.
Very close to landing that last one, but again, Smithy is not a tank here. He's burst damage mage on Gragas. He brings crowd control, and he does have a stopwatch available to try and immune once he does go in. But he has to be very careful and quick with his fingers to be able to pull that play off. Right now, Dragon is leashed, but they don't want to commit.
Teleport's available for both top laners. Impact has ult. Licorice is not for about 10 seconds. That could be a margin that matters. And Svenskeren now starts to solo the Mountain Drake. It's the slowest to kill, but the least deadly of all of them. And looks like it will be TL giving away the pressure. Cloud9 going to stack up a second Drake here. The Mountain does not matter unless you're winning.
It doesn't, but if you can get access to the Baron, especially with both the Cho'Gath to secure it and the Cassio to burn it down that mountain, really going to help you out in looking for that.
Lens down for Zeyzal, pillars up onto Ole, but here comes the re-gank as Smithy's in the front. Ult pop by Svenskeren. What does he have to respect here as the slows come through? Gonna be a disengage, everyone's gonna stay alive.
Yep, gonna back off here. Both junglers were prepared. That's why they went aggressively in here. And the tower just barely standing. First turret bonus gold is still available.
And C9 trying so aggressively to wave clear this out. That's why the junglers are hovering. They're trying to be that added force that tips it in their favor. And Smithy has been spending so much of his time down here trying to ensure they're the ones who get that first turret, that Doublelift is the one getting ahead of Sneaky.
But it feels like there is a small window for Cloud9 in the bot lane. There's no ults up for the TL duo lane, and Doublelift is out of mana. So I feel like a good gank would actually put in a lot of pressure down there. Ashe not able to defend herself in most ways.
Yeah, and the Muramana plus the Seraph's Embrace have both now upgraded. They have ticked over here for C9, so a lot of added power there for Jensen, for Sneaky, and we're approaching that 2-item mark here pretty quickly for the Ezreal especially, and C9 may look to try to start fighting around neutral objectives when they get that.
Well, we see him pushing in the lane here, going for a recall. Maybe after this purchase, they decide to go at Cloud9 are syncing up recalls from Jensen, Svenskeren, and Sneaky at the same time that Team Liquid go for the Rift Herald. So this should be an easy objective. So Cloud9 have controlled all of the Drakes. Team Liquid will have the option to use this Rift Herald to get first turret bonus gold.
That Herald's gonna be grabbed without much issue. 100 gold goes over to Xmithie for the smite, and we'll see where he managed to summon it here. First takes the recall. As Sneaky's taken his own recall back, teleported back in, has a actual Iceborne Gauntlet in for his power spike. Doublelift walking back to lane. Zeyzal only clearing vision, so there's no ganks to be had. The resources back up, the box available for Ole as well. And that lack of resources has timed out. TL's back to full power down there.
Pressure really mounting here. 2-0 in the series for Team Liquid. They only need one more game. And Cloud9 fighting to keep this series alive. Heading into the 20-minute mark, the game is about to break open as the towers begin to fall. This one, even on bottom side for Cloud9, is getting low.
Hook lands, Glenn's not available, and he pulls him in. Zeyzal gets found out. Not by the stun on Ole, but a stun towards Doublelift. Explosive cast pushes them in. What a kill for Xmithie! And now look up at the river as there's a solo Svenskeren going down. 3-0 TL.
And just at the tipping point, Team Liquid collapse on the bottom lane. They will take the turret. Rift Herald's activated. They want to get 2 out of that play.
I think they're gonna get 2 here. Jensen did knock down 1 in the mid lane, but TL, what an engage from Smithy, just deleted Sneaky off the face of Summoner's Rift there, and they're gonna get a second turret.
North American All-Star jungler for sure. Smithy back at it. Doublelift finishes off solo gold on the secondary turret. They take the blue buff afterwards. And that was just such a coordinated play, once again, from Team Liquid.
Big damage to the Pulitzer here, but able to walk back away. Jensen did just narrowly snake out the first turret gold himself. However, of course, gold falling down there. It's a 3,000 gold lead to TL. They are in the driver's seat once again. It seems they can do very little wrong in this series against Cloud9.
And it really does feel like so much of the onus is going to be on Jensen, the man with the lead. But here is the play one more time. They spot Smithy now. No cleanse was available on Zeyzal, so they go for him. But look at Smithy on the side, looking for Sneaky.
Yeah, Ole goes in. He got the knockback there, play, and Smithy flashes in, fires off the Q to finish off the kill himself. What do we say? Burst Mage. He is not a tank at all, and he's putting on display why he's got so much AP there. Now, he can create another play. Predator is already available, and everyone around the top lane here might actually have another confrontation.
They're spotted out by the Blast Cone, or the Scryer's Bloom just popped on Cloud9's side. They're aware of how many resources are on this side of the map. Doublelift, I think, far ahead of Sneaky in gold. The turret money, the extra kill he's gotten, the extra farm, and Ashe is on a very strong 2-item spike. And of course, will scale smoothly into the mid and late game as well. This champion does not fall off in damage at really any point. He's got the utility to back it up as well. Mid lane, that's one thing down, but C9 still have a lot of work to make up for.
There is a decent amount of standing gold in that bottom turret that's very low. If Cloud9 can topple that one, finish off the work they're doing on top side, they could still get back into this.
Yeah, and you can see that looks like TL wants to trade that for the mid lane turret. Impact has roamed up, so they may give up that bottom lane turret, but they can pressure perhaps onto Jensen here.
Feels threatened, has flash and cleanse, but not really willing to walk up for the wave. Getting pushed back by the Baron. Now Licorice is here. Could it be a play? Pops Righteous Glory. Knock up, not going to land an impact. They might just get a slow, but is that going to be able to chase down the kill? He ults, and the pillar's in the way. It's the chase, and they commit the ultimate, but a beautiful explosive cast disengages Cloud9, and Impact walks away safely.
And C9 make the call to not take a trade. They roam Licorice up, but they're not able to get any kills off of it, and they don't get the bottom lane turret. So did keep theirs alive. We'll see what they can get next.
Meanwhile, in the top lane, sneaky split pushing against Pobelter. The Iceborne Gauntlet will help him out as far as slowing Pobelter down, but it's not going to help the defenses if he does get caught in a combination with the Rune Prison. He has to play it from long range very carefully, and that means Team Liquid will take control of this Drake and get one for themselves.
That one goes down. Start to see the Liquid are having their way with the map. 2 turrets taken in a row. This Drake unopposed as well. Pobelter sitting the 1v2, wave clearing mostly safely. This time around, because so many resources were dedicated, he has to finally give up that turret. But Liquid far ahead on this one. Looking to close it out 3-0.
And this team, built during franchising from scratch to be the all-star team, pulling all of these stars together, they have only known winning. In the spring, they were champions. In summer, they're making it look like they are going to repeat here. Cloud9 trying their best to stall them out and defend against it, but the onslaught just continues.
And it just feels like Cloud9 is nonstop having to react to what TL is doing. They're always on the back foot, always hoping to buy more time to perhaps get to this late game that has never come for them.
But their time might be running out. Team Liquid, it was 3-0 in the spring. It's looking like 3-0 in the summer as well. Expected to cement himself as the most successful North American jungler of all time. Doublelift, already his most successful bottom laner of all time, and can tie the all-time any player record. Bjergsen at 5, Doublelift could be that with a win right here. He's got multiple opportunities. C9, as you're mentioning, time is running out. They've got to find some way back in.
And that way starts with vision control, the way that this series began, and Team Liquid, where all of their plays began, is moving in tandem. Smithy plus either Ole or Pobelter have constantly been able to get those deeper wards and allow them to make the more educated choice once the skirmishes do break out. Right now, Cloud9 are trying to push up the lane. They've sent Jensen topside, but mid lane, Team Liquid looking for the pick.
While TL's engage is very strong, if they botch it one time, certainly the potential to get burned down as a frontliner. The Void Staff is in for Jensen to help against those tanks, and you already have Trundle ultimate, Cho'Gath ultimate, so Smithy and Impact have to be careful about when they choose to fight.
Looks like they might be trying right now. Jensen walking down from the top side. All 10 players very near to the mid lane. Licorice walking forward, looking for Rupture, not going to find that yet. And the teams trade wave clear back and forth. That Baron is alive. And with the Mountain Drake in tow, Cloud9 have pretty good Baron killing. Cassiopeia good at this.
Oh yeah, huge DPS coming out from Cassiopeia. Actually, engagement here, they have to use the Lantern to get Impact out, and that will be enough.
That's such a small cooldown required. It's completely safe.
And it's the bottom lane pushing for TL, so it's C9 who are going to have to respond to this, and TL will get control around the Baron. You can see Licorice now moving down. TL have an opportunity to try to pressure out that teleport.
And with Licorice spotted, that means they're going to go right into that area of the map. We're seeing an Ole recall on the minimap, but it's TL creating darkness. They're going to force action out of C9.
This is the area you have to watch out for Ash Arrows. They've created that darkness for Doublelift to fire the Ash Arrow out of. Reduce the time of reaction period here for Cloud9. So they're splitting the map well, and Team Liquid should be rewarded regardless of a Baron play with top tower gold.
Exactly. Parts of the map slipping through the cracks. TL playing those sides better. Top outer falls 4-2 in turrets, a 3,000 gold lead, and Liquid inch closer and closer to their second championship here. The mid and clear one more time.
And they're keeping up the split pushing. Now Pobelter push it all the way up. Arrow hits!
Done on Zeyzal, pulls the cleanse, has to walk back out.
You can see that Cho'Gath is actually committing to the bottom side this time. Licorice deciding not to match the roam. We'll try to get some turret gold down here perhaps for C9. We'll see if he commits to it.
It's pretty low, but impact has arrived. So Team Liquid will be able to get top turret for nothing in response on the bottom side from Cloud9.
C9 to the credit are at least farming well. You've got a 50 CS lead on Licorice's Cho'Gath, and that is a champion that can do incredibly meaningful damage in a team fight. Stoneplate just bought here, and Ash, though she has Blade of the Ruin King, will still have a hard time cutting through that champion. Very little armor on impact means Sneaky can actually cut through that reasonably well.
The crowd in Oracle has gone silent in anticipation of this next team fight. They can tell the Baron setup at this point will have huge repercussions, and Cloud9 are moving in to get vision control of that area.
And anyone who snakes off that path is one that you want to watch for. You can see that Gragas down towards that blue buff is one that looked for a little something to grab, not near the rest of his team. Jensen pushing in the top lane. And now Pobelter, slowed by a pillar, able to walk away as mid lane's cleared again.
This time, though, it's C9 with the pushing bottom lane. TL will be the ones who perhaps have to respond to that. They are trying to maintain that mid lane control so that they can have easier access to that Baron pit. And remember, they have the Cassio. They have the ability to perhaps burn this down. TL certainly within distance to respond, though.
10 members in mid lane, my friends, and we have a brush fight. Constantly firing off. Who is going to get the engagement here? They're poking around, trying to get control of the mid lane minions, and they're going to go for it.
Again, the minions going back and forth. Sneaky a little bit low on mana, got to lower his damage output with the Ramada conversion. Stun not going to land for Ash. They get ground out of Ole. Big knockup not going to land either. The ult swinging wide on both sides here, but now turning back towards Licorice. Down to half HP, pops the stone plate, and looking for the re-engage. His impact in the front line, turns on the ultimate. He's going to be stopped by the pillar. Great play out of Svenskeren.
Svenskeren has been so quick with these pillars to stop those Scion ultimates, but all of the abilities from both sides missing in both that engagement. Both teams gonna back off here and wait for their cooldowns.
And the side lane pushing in opposite directions. So one side lane pushing for C9, one side lane pushing for TL. Looks like Licorice will go collect that bottom wave, and likely we'll see Pobelter on the rise, go to the top side to collect that. Doublelift in the meantime actually soloing down this dragon to grab TL and Earth Dragon and improve their chances at perhaps taking down a Baron.
The Infinity Edge on. Doublelift is certainly on a very strong place here. Cut through a lot of the armor on the front line tanks of Cloud9. Pobelter grabs that side lane wave, and it feels like TL have a fair bit of control. Cloud9 the first to clear up mid, though. They can go to that top river. They can set up Baron this time around.
All right, they're gonna rely on Ole on this Thresh with the Lantern to be able to pull people to safety when fighting this vision game. That plus the Hawkshot, there's so much utility brought from the Team Liquid bottom lane to help out in this stage of the game where mobility around this Baron pit means everything.
And not to mention the blue string in there from Doublelift, so certainly so many ways to safely check for any traps being laid by C9 to scout out if that Baron is being started up. And it's impact out on the side, maybe actually spotted out here by that blue buff.
Ooh, he's got the blast going to gets himself over the wall from the rest, but the stun still lands. Impact has flash, and he has the ult, and he drifts around enough for the map. Rupture going to be flashed away from.
A lot here used by Impact to get out of there. A dangerous situation, and Cloud9 get the slightest of edges.
Small edge. I think Cecil may have been able to get in front of him for that ult, perhaps get even more, but either way, it's C9 looking for Doublelift.
Look at the damage he can shred through Svenskeren in 3 seconds.
That importance of the Lantern, we mentioned in Champion Select though, Doublelift able to get out pretty free.
Ash Arrow, gonna hit Sneaky. QS has to get away. Was not quick enough on the Arcane Shift. Now Predator popping Smithy might want to go in. A pillar slows him down. The flash. Hook's going to land on Licorice. This could be the team fight. The Sauce in the front line playing him backwards. The box comes up as well. And the battle begins. Redemption to buy some time. And they're trying to chew through a gigantic Scion. Finds his stun. Watch out for Licorice. He's low in the backside. And they're starting to burn through him. Svenskeren goes down. And it's a trade kill for the tanks. Now as they keep going, Smithy's going to fall. 2 for 1, but Cloud9 are routed. They're running. Jensen's low. He's trying to get away. Pobelter flashes in. He gets a kill. He might almost have a second. It's a route, but Sneaky can't be found out. It's a 2 for 2 as C9 disengages.
That last kill was so important onto Jensen. The Cassiopeia going down because Pobelter finishes it off, and that allows Team Liquid to continue the push.
And Licorice has no Warmogs here, so TL will be able to push in and pressure down this turret. Sneaky on the side is grabbing the red buff, is trying to get that wave, pushing in their direction on the top side, but TL, with all the pressure in this game, with the vision going back to in their favor around the Baron buff.
All right, Will, they started up here. Looks like it's just gonna be control ward duty to clean them out before revisiting. Bottom lane, there's a big wave pushing right now for Cloud9. Take another look at how it all started out. Take us through it, Azael.
Yeah, the stone plate there popped onto Licorice. A lot of cooldowns used onto him, and then you can see the feast used onto Impact there. The Trundle ultimate trying to focus him down.
Yep, and then they have Smithy in the Zonias. As soon as he gets out, right back in. They take him down, so Cloud9 get the counter kill. But here's the chase. Pobelter on the rise, has his phase rush procced, flashes in to get that extra kill.
And this man has been such a difference maker for the team. 3-0 once again. And look at the damage being pumped out from the rise, from this Ashe double lift. Really having a big effect.
Absolutely massive from the 2018 Summer Split MVP. Doublelift has won so many times, looking to do it once again and head into Worlds as the #1 team in North America. Cloud9 need to reverse sweep this one. Stun on Azazel, hook right back in after the cleanse. Box comes down, here comes Sion. He's gonna find the front line towards Licorice, but stops short. Hook's not gonna land this time around, no knockups either. Able to disengage if they want to, but Cloud9 still standing strong in the mid lane.
Impact did get bottom lane pushing in Team Liquid's favor before coming to this fight. So that one, again, is going to build up and create some more pressure on Cloud9 to start this out.
Using that ultimate so well as kind of a pseudo TP, the semi-global ultimate, moving him back up there, and C9 looking to try to get a fight.
No knockups yet, but the pillar buys some time. Now it's gonna be a full channel Sion. Q pulls in, the stun. Licorice could go down, trying to kite away. Explosive cast, gets a bit more space, and Zaze lets him flash away. Look at the redemption, gets the heal back in. Trundle, his days are numbered, played in. It's gonna be Svenskeren falling, and there will not yet be a trade. Sneaky has to run away, can't kill off Impact. And it's 5 strong still for TL. Impact can heal up.
We don't have Warmogs on these big tanks yet, so they would have to go back to base and use their teleports. Both Licorice and Impact have theirs available.
Yeah, and you can see Licorice on the side trying to get this wave pushing in their direction once more, but TL team fighting so beautifully, kiting back and forth, segmenting off members from C9 to focus down.
With the jungler down and the big minion wave crashing bottom lane, Team Liquid can move over to the Baron. They started up.
They're trying to make it happen. Licorice gonna make the long walk. He does have TP, finally channels it now. Cloud9 to defend this one, 4v5. Can they make it happen? It's getting low, picked up by Xmithy. He never misses a spite. Impact joins the fight, channels the ult. He's going in for a kill. Finds Sneaky, finds a giant knockup. They're gonna knock down Zazel, and they've got more to do. Public gets behind them. He's gonna kill off Sneaky. Not a problem for him. Licorice gets one trade, but he's sure to fall for this one. It's Svenskeren and Jensen just waiting for their top laner to die. The hook comes in, the kill comes through, but they're gonna fight. They've got to watch out for the CC. A quick slow is gonna be landed, but Cloud9 routed, running away. 2 versus 4, and Team Liquid looking for blood.
4 members of Team Liquid with Baron buff looking to push inside the Cloud9 base with match point and the championship on the line.
Aiming for back-to-back sweeps in the finals. Team Liquid, the 2018 Super Team, bringing the best players from across the roles, and they're gonna knock down the middle inhibitor. They'll give some space for now, but at 35-20, inhibitor's broken.
It's one step away from closing this series out for TL, and what a beautiful team fight to put them in that spot. The Elder Dragon is also live. They have the Baron buff, and they're looking to stack these double super buffs here, even TPing in to secure it.
Yeah, that's gonna secure it here for Team Liquid. Nothing Cloud9 can do about it. They take everything off the map.
Team Liquid, a hair's breadth away. We can watch that winning fight again.
And watch this Rise ultimate here. Double it and Pobelter essentially flanking on the side, getting over onto Sneaky and pressuring him down.
Yeah, the 2 damage dealers are the only ones to take that realm orb, so it's a bit of a scary situation. They do get the flank off though. Licorice is able to flash Beast and get 1 kill, but it was a Team Liquid victory. They take him down in the end as well, and it is a worthy sacrifice.
8,000 gold difference. Baron and Elder Dragon buffs active on most of the team here. C9 able to knock down the mid lane wave for now. We'll wait for TL's next aggressive play as they shove in this lane once again.
Such big item completions now coming through for TL with all that gold injection. The Death Cap Void Staff is already done for Pobelter. 4 full items plus the QSS done for Doublelift. These guys are monstrously strong, and the front line is huge for them with Impact having completed so many items of his own.
Cloud9 with their backs against the wall. Necessary defense here. Can they do it against the defending champions? Pobelter's inside the mid lane. Baron empowered minions are taking down their turrets, and they come to rubble around them.
They're gonna try to defend, but the shot's still coming through. The catapults, no, they're buffed up. They're trebuchets. That turret falls. It's on towards an open inhibitor as mid lane gets traded back and forth. And again, C9 forced to kite away. No turrets keep them alive. They've got to give away their second inhibitor. Now stuck right next to their Nexus. Team Liquid have the option of where they want to go next. Top lane tier 2 is up. They can recall, they can push the next wave into mid.
But there's not much more to give here for C9. They're gonna have to pick their moment and look for a fight as they will be pressured on all sides. Supers in bot and middle, and the top lane is TL's next point of attack.
Baron buff plus Elder Dragon buff, too much to stand to. Cloud9 have to sacrifice the entire bottom half of their base. And it's up to Team Liquid now. Full reset, purchase on items, and go finish through the top lane.
You can see as the blue is handed over effortlessly. Pobelter does about that much damage to champions as well. He is massive, and he has stepped up so much in this series against the first all NALCS mid laner in Jensen. It is Pobelter time and again having the better game in that mid lane. Ole having a great time as well. There was some question onto whether this bot lane would work, and they have absolutely defied all expectations. They are looking like the absolute best in North America, looking to make it a 3-0 run in the finals, and it's down to the last inhibitor turret. A bit of wave clear. They'll buy 30 more seconds, Cloud9, but the clock is ticking.
Time definitely working against them as the super minions start to build up. Team Liquid even sending 4 members down to hurry the process along. Super minions heading through mid, Pobelter's on top side, and they can just move in to the C9 base from the side here and switch up to that last inhibitor.
As the waves come in, it's a desperate defense for Cloud9 to knock down all these supers. Top being shepherded in about 15 seconds. Doublelift poking for the mid lane. And as they wait for the reinforcements to show up, C9 is knocking down minions. Rise ults in a few. He gets the cannon in early. The Righteous Glory for Liquor trying to stop him. The turret's just gone so quickly, and the fight erupts. They put Sensei's ult for insta cleanse. Licorice on the front line. Can they kill any of these tanks? Licorice is gonna fall. That's 1 for 0. Looking at Impact, dangerous as well, but Svenskar is already dead. It's 2 kills for Team Liquid, and they are still surviving. The inhibitor about to fall. They can knock a few more arrows into that bow, but Doublelift clears the way first. Wants to make sure he is safe, that no flash ults come out of Jensen or no damage elsewhere, as Petrifying Gaze is already burned. There are so few tools left for Cloud9.
All that Team Liquid need to do at this point is stay inside the base. They have minions coming to assist them. The last inhibitor is down.
It's triple inhib. There should be no defense left. Zazel tries to cut away, but it is 5v3 for 25 seconds and make it a 6v3. The minions are there as well. Sneaky forced to flash to his fountain, and it's all but over. Team Liquid just walking the waves into the base. The 2018 Super Team trying to find one more way in. A giant knockback for Smithy. That's 2 more kills for TL. A double for Doublelift that is disappearing in front of him. The next is open. There is no defense. Svenskaren shows up, but the base will fall. Back-to-back sweeps. TL's the best team in North America. Over 100 Thieves in spring, 3-0 over Cloud9 in summer. Team Liquid rise to the challenge as the NA Super Team. They are the best on the continent. They are the best team in North America, heading to Worlds as the monstrous team.
Their experience shining through in this finals. 5 championships now for Doublelift, tied for the most in NALCS history. 4 for Smithy, 3 for Pobelter. These players have dominated the league for years.
Cloud9 bringing 7 members to try and take down the champs, but to no avail, and they get to raise the trophy once again. 2 splits played together and 2 splits won.
Team Liquid only needed 5 players for this. As the confetti rains down, TL remained the dominant team in North America throughout all of 2018.
But what a split for Cloud9. Those guys, those rookies have played their hearts out.
They really have, but the fairy tale was not meant to be. 10th place to finals, but no 10th place to championship for them.
And they turned it into binary. 1-0 means second for them, but either way, it is now the sorry. It is now the attempt for Cloud9 to complete their story in the regional qualifier. We know that 100 Thieves are going to be joining Team Liquid at Worlds with this victory. So Cloud9 have to bring themselves back, and we'll see them in a week's time, hoping to take some learnings and make their trip all the same.
So great to see the reactions and the happy faces from these players and the owners. Steve now getting accustomed to winning after being in the scene for so long and working so hard for this.
And the first trip to Worlds for him and his team. Smithy hoisting the trophy, and what a series from Pobelter. So many people talked about how Pobelter was supposed to be the weak point, where C9 would dominate, where they would attack, as we saw in the regular season, but it was Pobelter taking over multiple games, really shining in this finals.
So many of these players, absolutely incredible. Doublelift, by far the most successful bot lane in North American history. Impact came to North America expecting to dominate, but year upon year upon year could not hoist that trophy. Finally on Team Liquid was available to. The best snow angel you'll get in California, one made of confetti.
And you have to say that Scion pick was so massive for them. They had not been playing it throughout the playoffs. They had not really been playing it for a long time in the regular season, and it came up huge for them here.
The coordination from this team on display throughout this series, the attention to detail with their vision work really earned them this victory.
It's time for practice. The grind does not stop for the best team in North America. Ole and the rest of Team Liquid will be heading to South Korea for the World Championship. And the dubious honor of being a North American team at Worlds belongs to them to see if they can step up, as so many have before. So now, for more on Team Liquid's second championship, let's send it over to Avali and Team Liquid's owner, Steve.
Thanks, guys. Steve, congratulations on the entire win. You have all the Team Liquid fans here. Now, at the beginning of the year, Doublelift promised you Worlds, and not only did he give you that, but back-to-back split championships. Was this the best signing that you've ever made?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
And what about the rest of the team, though?
I mean, this moment obviously feels amazing. This is the first time for me, but for these guys, they've been here before, and really it's for them. I mean, just thank you all, and Peter, thank you. This just feels amazing. I think North America has really not showed up to Worlds for the last 6 years, and I just hope that we can do it this year. You know.
And it looks like the 4th curse is finally lifted from Team Liquid with all of the streaks of success that you guys have had. And just wondering, is this the best iteration of Team Liquid that we've ever seen?
Absolutely. You know, we did it in Dota. We're going to do it in League. Our eyes are set on a world championship. So that's the fucking goal.
And it's been a whirlwind, not just for the Team Liquid organization, but for you yourself. You've started the year social media with the Money gun. You were dancing on stage here today, lifted the first banner in the battle arena, and now you guys are going to Worlds. So what's the year been like for you, Steve?
It's been amazing. It's been some ups and downs, you know, like we had a tough middle of the split in the first split, but, you know, we came out strong. And I think today we showed that we are clearly, without a doubt, the best team in North America. Like, period, the end of story. And I can see all the Cloud9 fans that are here, but, you know, so thank you, and we're gonna show up at Worlds, you know?
And what is Team Liquid going to do as an organization to better prepare the players for what's going to be the biggest event of the year?
You know, we've just got to provide all of the support and resources for these guys to do well. We've had one central theme in mind this whole season, which is just mental focus, you know, and we've had sports psychologists and all of these resources, you know, Michael and Dodo and Kane and our sports psychologist, Jared, that have really centered around these guys to be acute and ready. And so we're gonna continue that. We're just gonna have the very best mindset going into the Worlds.
Steve, thank you so much, and once again, congratulations.
Thank you.
For more in the game, let's hear from those analysts.
Thank you, Amelie. Riding high on life, back-to-back 3-0 championships for Team Liquid. We will have an interview with the entire team in just a few minutes, so stick around. But in the meantime, we're welcoming Mithy to help us break down that pretty dominant 3-0 out of Team Liquid. It did seem as the series went on, they had a better and better grasp on the game, the series, and how to attack Cloud9 to ultimately come away with a victory.
Yeah, definitely. TL style has actually just been the same throughout both splits, but they're just so good at playing their own style. Whenever things go wrong, they don't fall back to something else. They just perfect their own style. And yeah, I think that's a very, like, something to be very proud of for them.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to the big stages like the NALCS finals, it has definitely worked to their benefit here. Since teams haven't been able to come out with the counter to it on game one, they just kind of end up throwing a bunch of different looks at him, and none of them are close to as practiced as what TL has done the whole year in perfecting that style. And that's why we've seen back-to-back 3-0 finals victories for TL.
Yeah, Mark, it's one of the things we talked about coming into the day was the idea that, you know, Cloud9 maybe a little bit more of a jack of all trades, multiple strategies in the playbook. TL, that refinement of a single strategy, and how would those things match up? I know your prediction was 3-2, Cloud9 predicting a very close series in that sense, but on the dive you had actually said that you could see this series being incredibly swingy if there was no opportunity for C9 to break the mold.
Yeah, I mean, all of us pundits were saying basically we were expecting them to be able to get some advantage against Pobelter. Maybe not every single game, but we thought there would be a couple where they got the best of him. But that never happened. I mean, this was probably the closest game with the 20 CS lead and the counter pick with them having entire topside pressure. That's not good enough when double is down the bot lane.
Yeah, I think it's an important thing to note as we watch Champion Select slide off your screen that there was 3 different looks of rosters for Cloud9. You know, we had the OG, Blabber Jensen, then to Svenskar and Golden Glue, and then taking out Golden Glue, throwing Jensen back in as the last-ditch effort to claw a game back in, and they couldn't quite get it to come together. Let's roll through some highlights.
Noodles on a wall and none of them stuck. I think it was a good attempt to try something different because it was really not working the first few games. And they had topside pressure like we were saying, but then Liquor started falling prone to a lot of Smithy ganks who survived that early pressure.
Yeah, and here's a perfect example of the synergy that TL has, and what they've been working on throughout the whole year is just their 3-man. Basically, their whole team plays so well around their bot duo, and they just play so well.
And that was actually a huge moment in the game because Sneaky had just completed Muramana and Iceborne, so it was C9's chance to win bottom lane. I also thought this play not counting, xMithy put his stamp on this whole series. Like, so many perfect ganks, amazing vision control the entire time, and really put them in so many positions to succeed.
Yeah, for sure. I think his pathing every game was very smart, very diligent, and even the last game where he fell a little bit behind, he was able to catch up and even make the first proactive play. So yeah, props to him.
I mean, this is definitely a series where every single member of TL had a moment where they looked like they were the series favorite for the MVP. Sion for Impact having monstrous engages every single game. Double if winning his lane. Pobelter stepping up and smashing Golden Glue for a game. And Smithy, all 3 games having great pathing and making sure that all those other members had their times to shine.
I mean, what do you do when when the team wins 3-0 and it's so convincingly, who do you give the MVP to?
Yeah, I
The
don't know.
coach or?
Wasn't an easy decision.
Break it apart.
We'll get to that reveal shortly. But again, I think one of the things we talked about at the top of the day was the idea of experience on one side against the inexperience on the other. And Mithy, you of all people are equipped to talk about what experience can do for you on a stage, as you've been to many NLCS finals yourself. And for this Team Liquid squad to actually achieve the 3-0 with so few mistakes, I mean, that margin for error is not large, and yet they still executed on it.
Yeah, it just felt like both teams came in with a strategy in game one. TL didn't play at their best. Maybe cold hands. Honestly, the stage was pretty cold. But then, yeah, they still were able to win that game, so they got a lot of confidence. They came into the next game with the same strategy. C9 just started crumbling slowly, and then, yeah, eventually just TL was so confident.
I think the crumbling is a great point because playing on stage is so different for a rookie player who has never done anything like that when playing League of Legends before. You're in your bedroom, you're in a scrim room, and after a little bit of time, you get accustomed to the LCS stage. This is different. You can hear a crowd. You can sometimes feel vibrations coming through the floor and stuff. I know people have said that before, and so
Right.
I
And
don't
then
think
just the stakes.
right. And I don't think it's a surprise that Game 3, when C9 are pressed up against the wall, it's the all-veteran roster, or as veteran of a roster as they can make in there. So I think to that point, it does come true.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to see in game, but I could see how TL was growing in confidence. I mean, even Ole, he's a very moody player, and I could see after game one, he was all over on game two, and game three especially, he was going in first, he was going in ham. He knew he had control over the series.
You talk about the difficulty of deciding an MVP when it's a 3-0, but when it comes to a championship series, there only can be one finals MVP. And today it goes to Xmithy.
Yeah, one of the big questions for the series was who was going to be able to control the mid 2v2, because that's actually how C9 had been beating Team Liquid, but it was Pobelter and Xmithy controlling that 2v2 each and every time. Xmithy also then set up bottom lane to succeed.
This was disgusting.
Beautiful combo by Gragas right there onto the no MR Ezreal. 3 different champions, but a huge amount of control in all 3 games. This guy's been playing since the start. He picks up his 4th title, and this time, the finals MVP.
Yeah, without a doubt, the vision control huge. The ability to, stalwartly prevent people like Svenskeren, known for playmaking, to really make any big plays. Xmithy's dad in the crowd, ever the top supporter for Team Liquid. Doublelift as well. It's great to see him out here still in full force. To hear from the champions who defended their title, let's send it back down to Avali for an interview with the squad.
Thanks, guys. Team Liquid, congratulations, back-to-back championships. Kane, Dodo, I'm looking at you guys because whatever you're doing seems to be working. Whenever I talk to you, it seems like you're always moving from one issue, solved it, and you're focused on the next. So what does improvement for the team look like this year?
일단 케인 코치님, 일단 저희가 전에 얘기 나눴을 때 이제 저희가 물어봤을 때마다 우리가 연습했던 거 이런 거 잘 된다라고 했는데 이제 이번 연에 어떻게 우리가 이 팀을 발전시켰는지 궁금합니다.
일단 워낙 이제 경력이 오래되고 잘하는 선수들이어서 크게 걱정은 하진 않았는데 사실은 제가 가장 중요하게 생각하는 거는 이제 5명이 하나의 플레이를 만드는 거를 가장 중요하게 생각을 해서 각자의 이제 개인기보다는 좀 더 팀 플레이를 잘 하게 강조를 많이 했던 것 같아요.
So since we are a team with a full roster of veterans, instead of focusing a lot on individual skills or individual performance, I think I really focus on our team's performance, just making sure everyone's on the same page and making sure we're playing as a team.
Who do you think made the biggest improvement throughout this year?
이제 그리고 어떤 선수가 이제 최고 많이 발전하는 것 같은지 궁금합니다.
사실 올해 시작하기 전에 한국에서 이제 부트캠프를 할 때 올레 선수를 걱정을 굉장히 많이 했는데 정말 많이 발전을 했고 정말 열심히 했고 가장 올해 많이 발전한 선수가 아닌가 생각합니다.
Yeah, so from start of this team, when we were bootcamping in Korea, I think Ole was working the hardest and that he needed the most to improve. And that he worked really hard this year, and I think he is the player who improved the most.
Thank you.
Is there anything you'd like to add? Is there anything that you would like to add?
I think he's the best coach ever I had. He talked to me every single stuff, like even some single word. Like he always talked to me like, "Oh, like you have to put word this is, because of this using can farm. You always try to help other teammates. That's your job." He was ex support, and then he's just like a challenger this season. He has better like more happy than me. Like I was like, "Oh, coach, maybe people gonna ask me to retire. What can I do?" But I mean, I really appreciate his job, and I think he's the best coach.
Kane, it sounds like your team thinks that you're the best coach and you're going to be leading them into Worlds. And clearly you've raised a great NA team, but will your coaching style change going internationally?
이제 롤드컵도 진출이 확정됐는데 이제 북미에서는 이제 가장 강한 팀이 되었지만 이제 세계로 나가면서 이제 약간 코칭 스타일이 바뀔 것 같은지.
코칭 스타일은 바뀌지 않고 사실 저희가 저번 MSI에서 굉장히 안 좋은 모습 그리고 실패를 했기 때문에 이번에는 좀 더 타이트하게 정말 우리 100% 끌어낼 수 있도록 이번에 북미 팀 정말 강한 모습 보여줄 수 있도록 열심히 해야겠죠.
Yeah. So instead of changing my coaching style, I think because at MSI we didn't show a good showing, maybe even a failure. So I think this time when we're going to Worlds, we really want to make sure that we want to show that NA is a strong region and make NA proud.
And Impact, you took down your old organization that you made it all the way to quarters at Worlds with. I mean, now that you're on Team Liquid, how far do you think this team is going to go?
Give me a second. I cannot hear.
Yeah, I actually cannot hear as well. Can you repeat the question?
Oh, you want me to repeat the question? Okay, you took down Cloud9, you went to quarters in Worlds with them. Now that you're on Team Liquid, how far is this team going to go?
이제 클라우드9이랑 저번 월드 때 이제 8강까지 가셨는데 이번에 팀 리크드랑은 어디까지 가실 수 있을 것 같으신지?
We are goal is semi-final if possible, but I think coach won't win world too, so just follow coach.
Just follow coach. And you've actually been to Worlds, you've taken it all on SKT in 2013. So when you look at Team Liquid, do you see world champions?
이제 2013년에 SKT랑 이제 롤드컵 다 이기셨는데 이제 우리 팀을 봤을 때 저희가 우승할 가능성이 있어 보이는지.
Of course. Yeah, I trust my teammate. I hope so.
Last thing I want to hit you with, in spring finals, we saw you come out with the JoJo pose. But for your guys' introductions today, we saw you break out the Ginyu pose. So who's coming up with all these ideas?
That was my idea.
스프링 때 끝나고
Peter, you got something to say? What was the inspiration behind that?
I tried to get TSM to do it, but they're too scared.
Wait.
Last year.
Wait, you scared? I say I'm spring season. I say we do that, and you say no.
I wanted to wait for a better time. It's true, though. I was too scared, too.
We don't have a lot of team cohesion going into Worlds, it looks like. No, I'm just kidding. But Xmithy, you took MVP of the final series. I saw you giving a little bit of head nod. So what does that mean to you?
Well, I think it feels pretty good to be recognized. Feels pretty good to be recognized, but I think everyone played their role in this set. Everyone played really, really well, and yeah, I'm really proud of my team.
And you and Doublelift came into the finals saying that you wanted to play without regrets. Did you accomplish that?
I think so.
Great. And you've had arguably the most success on a NA team going into an international event, being 2016 MSI on CLG. So how are you going to use that experience coming into Worlds?
I think MSI and Worlds is like a different beast. Like every time I go to Worlds, I fail pretty a lot. I think I've been to Worlds like maybe 3 or 4 times, and yeah, like I just want to show that this time like my team can go through and win.
And Pobelter, the last time you faced Cloud9 and the Swole Bros, they bopped you. So how does it feel to exact revenge on the big stage today?
I think at that time, the matchup I got bopped in was like Orianna versus Cinderlee Sin, and once you die once, you just kind of start. I mean, obviously I chain fed that game, but it gets really difficult. But basically, I just watched all 5 of the C9 versus TSM games, and then just watched the mid-jungle interactions really closely, and then after that, I just felt so confident that we wouldn't lose in that aspect.
And you're slowly destroying that NA mid meme by proving yourself as one of the top players. So what do you think of yourself as that NA homegrown talent?
I think that first off, there's actually a lot more NA mids starting to grow into the LCS, which is good to see. You know, Golden Glue's been stepping it up. Demonte has actually been doing really well on Echo Fox, so proud of them for that, because for a while it was like, I'm the only guy, and then Hai is there sometimes as well. For me personally, I think I actually had like a pretty bad time this split overall. After MSI, I think I really let the community pressure and feedback get to me. You know, people were saying stuff like, oh, you know, there's so many great mids around the world. Korea had BDD, China had Shahu, EU had Caps, and then, you know, Pobelter just can't keep up. And then a lot of that feedback actually really got into my head. And then for a while I was struggling, but it was just like a couple weeks ago actually that I was able to overcome that and just was able to accept like my weaknesses, my faults. So really happy I was able to play well today.
You played well today and you earned the results. You're moving on to Worlds, or rather you're returning to Worlds with Ole Nick Smithy, only this time now you have Double Lift and Impact. So going into Worlds with this team, same question to you. How far are you gonna go and what do you think of this team?
Whenever I get asked this question, I always say the same thing, which is I just try to take every match one game at a time. So, you know, focus on getting out of group stages first, and then if that's possible, then the next goal is possible. I don't know if it's possible to just say like straight out of the bat, yeah, we're gonna win Worlds, but just one step at a time.
I know you love giving me that answer, but what's your dream?
What's my dream?
Dream for Worlds.
To win Worlds. That's like everybody's dream.
I mean, it's a good dream to have, but moving on to our MVP, Peter Pang. Back-to-back championships. I talked to Steve before this, and he said that when you signed with him, you promised him Worlds, you got it, and you also threw in back-to-back championships as like a signing bonus. So when you were first signing, is this the success that you imagined for the team?
Yeah, this is the success I was definitely imagining. I didn't know if we were going to be able to do it, but I think halfway through this year, I really realized like the potential of this team. You know, we were the only team at MSI that was able to beat RNG, and you know, after doing that, I just know we can do anything.
And speaking to that, you've always been kind of the core component of the team. You said before that you've asked the team to try to play around you, and they followed you. So with what does all the trust of your teammates really mean to you?
You know, it is a lot of pressure, and then I actually took a backseat role for a few years in the last like couple of years where I didn't really want to be like a focal point for the team because I was kind of like traumatized by Worlds. And yeah, I think like on this team, everyone puts so much faith in me, and like Eugene's always willing to roam for me, and he like instantly TPs every time we fight bot. Impact instantly TPs or like uses his global every time we fight bottom. Like everyone on the team actually, like Jake and Ole too, they always like look out for me. They put down words where I want to farm. Like they really like they just help me out like all game long. So yeah, I really appreciate that. I mean, my playstyle doesn't work unless they do that for me. So I'm gonna come to this world. It's pretty fearless. I'm just gonna forget about what happened.
And you've been on some of the most historically successful teams, CLG, TSM, and now Team Liquid. Do you think Team Liquid is the best team that you've ever been on?
Yeah, of course. We're right here.
You guys are here. And Ole, I want to come to you. With this split, it's been almost like a brand new mental health Ole. So tell me about the mental shift that you had this split and how it affected your performance.
Actually, after MSI, I realized confidence was the key that I like that's why I failed. Like actually to play with Peter sometimes it's hard because really hard, guys. It's a really hard job. And like actually I drank alcohol Like this summer, you know, like I never drank alcohol before. Like after I got feedback from Peter, I just went to drink alcohol and then I did. It's okay. And I got confidence a lot. Like I changed myself. I have been evolving myself a lot. And then like now like I'm really confident. And we actually, as Peter said, we beat RNG. Like I'm pretty sure with my confidence back, we can beat any other bot duo in World Championship. I will make sure Peter can be best AD carry in the world.
Peter, quick side tangent. What are you doing to your supports?
I just make alcoholics, I guess.
Ollie, I want to move back to you. I mean, you're heading into Worlds, which is going to be one of the toughest events that you've come across. There's no time for breaks. There's no room for doubt. So how are you going to tackle this pressure and stay focused on taking the victory?
I think just follow coach. You know, Kane is the best coach. So
agreed.
Yeah, I don't do. I just chill and Kane say something. Yes, coach. I follow. He's the best.
Yes, coach. Well, he is good up there. But I mean, look at everyone else that we have in the audience. All of these Team Liquid fans. Is there anything that you guys would like to say to them for cheering you guys on for the entire split? Double lift?
Jesus, put me on the spot. Man, I don't know. I just love the fans. You guys are awesome. I hear your cheers. Like when I'm playing the game, the floor is shaking. So, yeah, thank you guys.
Is there anything anyone else would like to throw in?
Oh yeah, shout out to my family who flew up here from Orange County, California to come on and support me. Really happy we won. Would have sucked if we lost, but we won.
We have Smithy's. Yeah, Smithy's dad is in the audience again, correct?
Your family.
Your dad, your family.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my parents are always like there when I play, even in LCS. Like they're always there every weekend, and I really appreciate them coming in. And they all came here to cheer for Team Liquid. And yeah, I love you guys.
That's definitely a proud parent moment. But everyone, one more time for Team Liquid. Guys, we'll see you at Worlds. Back to the desk.
Done.
Thank you, Avali. Congratulations again to Team Liquid. Back-to-back 3-0 championships. There is a couple key words that I heard throughout that interview. Fearlessness, confidence, the things that they're going to need to continue moving forward and actually put up a performance worthy of cheering on for North America at Worlds.
Yeah, and I think Steve said it pretty well when he said he felt like they were definitively the best team in North America after winning back-to-back championships, and I think that's a great bit of confidence to have going into Worlds.
Yeah, I don't think you can argue that point. It is interesting to, to kind of hear the team talk about the play style and again kind of reiterate some of the things we talked about where Team Liquid really has honed in on one strategy, even comparing themselves to some degree to RNG, who many believe is the top team in the world at the moment and might be challenging for a world title themselves.
Yeah, I'm sure they don't want to get put in Uzi's group again. That's been something that has happened to Doublelift. Mithy was in Uzi's group last year as well when he was at Worlds with G2. Not the best thing to be put in, but I understand why they want to replicate that play style now that we've seen RNG had that MSI success and the back-to-back 3-0s for TL.
Talk to me about this bot lane for Team Liquid. Just as they stated, Ole stated that if they go in with confidence, they think they can stack up against any other duo in the world. How do you echo or feel about that sentiment?
I think if they match up against someone that plays the same style as them, it will come down to who's like better mechanically. But like right now, they just play winning lanes. They control the wave bot very well around their jungler, around their TPs, and they gank it. Once the lane has the pressure, they control the drakes, the map. They play well around that style. Just is that going to work against a team that does this exact same thing and maybe has Uzi instead of Doublelift? No offense,
Oh, yeah, it's a good question to be raised. I mean, it was interesting to watch C9 give the respect over to that lane. We saw the Thresh ban in the first 2 games alongside that Rakan. They did have to drop it in the 3rd game, and then the prowess of the Ole Thresh shone through alongside that Ashe. So a terrifying bot lane, to say the least. We'll have to track their success towards Worlds. And again, there is a little bit of downtime in the sense of we won't see them now for a little bit as we'll run the gauntlet ourselves. And so having that key keen mind, fixated on what they need to improve, following Coach Kane. As Ole said, just do what Coach says. I mean, we'll see if he has the tools in his toolbox to help coach these guys into a semifinal state, as Impact said he hopes for.
Yeah, listen, the meta always changes before Worlds. So if they're just going to say, all right, Psy on top, Aurelia Sej mid sometimes, Kai'Sa first pick, that's probably changing by the time Worlds happen. So while they do have so many of the fundamentals very well practiced, as Mithy pointed out, and the teamwork very well practiced, they're going to have to be able to keep up on it and get good on all those new picks.
Yeah, the good thing about TL is that even though they have one style, they do pick up new champions. It's not like they just play the same champs over and over. They just try to follow a system, which is winning bot lane, tank top, or at least someone in the team that can engage, and then just play around that decent mid-jungle duo that has playmaking, and then, yeah, just follow through the bot lane.
The only downside is that the finals was so convincing, it's hard to pick apart for things to improve for the coach.
Ah, God, what a terrible situation to be in, Mark.
I'm sure once they start screaming the international teams, right?
You'll see some more
Knowing
problems.
They'll pick up on some things.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, you saw the players giving high fives and handshakes on their way out of the arena. Of course, that's to the adoring fans who have stuck by them all season long for years and years and years, waiting for these championships to come to the Team Liquid camp. And throughout the year, you've been sending in tweets, and you didn't hesitate to take to Twitter in finals weekend. So here's a few that caught our eye, brought to you by Acer Predator. First up, David Rook tweeted out the play that started out the series with a bang. What a dodge by Doublelift.
And it's 30 seconds ahead of the Dragon. Blabber has found one. Oh, comes across. The shoot by Doublelift. Absolutely beautiful.
Black Shield, honorable mention to the Black Shield there, because that dodge probably not possible if the Black Shield doesn't come in.
You would think not. You would think the E, even though it's, would have knocked him back and maybe got enough damage to kill him. So good combo between Doublelift and Ole, but the flashier part was definitely the outplay, not the point and click Black Shield.
Absolutely. Next up, Peter Orwa called Svenskeren's kick out for exactly what it was. Clean.
Don't
go.
Okay. I still just hold. I go. Kai'Sa.
That play was attempting to bring C9 back into the series. That could have tied it up 1-1. Even though this was a 3-0, it did remind me a fair bit of the 100 Thieves final we got to see in the spring split, where there were close moments within the games, just never able to bring it back to the victory. So C9 did have some high moments.
And I do think it's the kind of thing where you hear how important instinct is in the game. Everyone's saying, don't go, no, and you hear Sven kind of go, I still have flash kick.
Yeah, I'm just going to get him.
And then I'm going to do it myself, because I don't have time to clearly communicate. So it kicks him, and he's like, there's your Kai'Sa. And you can't get that play out verbally. You just have to do it.
I mean, understanding that we were staring down the barrel of a Team Liquid victory, you did kind of let it slip that maybe Svenskeren would be grabbing MVP if somehow Cloud9 clawed it back in the series because of plays like that.
Yeah, definitely, and that's kind of what you see from a veteran. Sometimes, like you're saying, you have to go through with your instinct, and being able to balance both, knowing that you don't really have to go, but that you can go is what makes a good pro player.
Low percentage plays, but are they the only percentage chance we have to win? Sometimes you got to take it. Make sure to keep those tweets coming throughout the rest of the year so we can keep the conversation going into Worlds. And with the summer champion decided, we have 2 of North America's Worlds participants locked in, meaning the regional qualifier will determine our 3rd participant. Let's take a look at the bracket presented by Jersey Mike Subs. The tournament takes place next week. Series 1 on Friday pits Echo Fox versus Clutch Gaming. Then the winner of that match faces TSM, Mithy here, with the last remaining team facing Cloud9, as they still have a shot to be the top dog in the gauntlet. Looking at this and the way it's broken out, what are your guys' immediate thoughts on the gauntlet?
I see a TSM jersey next to me, and I see a TSM logo in the gauntlet. Are you on TSM? How you feeling?
I mean, feeling excited, knowing that I have another chance to go to Worlds,
Were you a Cloud9 fan hoping to bump into 100 Thieves again in the gauntlet after you just beat them in the 3rd, 4th place match? Or are you of the opinion that, we need to prove ourselves anyways, so we'll take whoever comes?
I'm going to go with a half-half on that one.
Okay. I mean, you're not going to look.
At the end of the day, it's a little bit of both,
Yeah,
but if I want to go to Worlds and I want to do well, I also want to have my redemption over C9, right? But
yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, the winner of that tournament will seed into the play-ins as NA's number 3 seed, where they will join Chaos Latin Gamers, Infinity Esports, Direwolves, Ascension Gaming, Gambit Esports, and Kaboom Esports. When it comes to groups, we have KT Rolster, A Freak of Freaks, Flash Wolves, Mad Team, Royal Never Give Up, Team Liquid, Fnatic, and Team Vitality.
Yeah, you're seeing it fill out pretty quickly here. Only a few more teams left to qualify for the World Championship. I'm really looking forward to seeing what's happening over in the LPL, actually. There's some really strong teams there this split. For so long, it's been total Korean dominance, but RNG, the team that's already qualified, MSI champions, Rift Rival champions. I'm going to say RNG are the Asia Games champions because it was 4/5 of their team playing on that roster.
Right.
So, and they're not even the best regular season team in that league. That's actually Invictus Gaming. So I want to see what happens in that final.
2 LCK representatives locked in as well, but of course the race for the 3rd seed from LCK, very interesting with the likes of Griffin. You know, the idea of hot young players who have come in and kind of created chaos and a storm in the LCK against a couple remaining top dogs, some of the more cemented organizations still in the running for that.
Yeah, SKT is in.
SKT's in there. They have a chance.
Oh, I was going to skip right over them. We're talking about Kingzone.
Give me your percentage chance on SKT going to Worlds.
I'm a fan.
All right. That's I'll take that.
Just want to see Faker again.
Yep. Kingzone, Gen G, though, the other organizations that you were probably going to reach for when talking about the Gauntlet run coming out of Korea. Up next on Twitch and YouTube will be a special presentation of the Team Liquid press conference. And if you need more league action after that, stay tuned for the rebroadcast of the EU LCS finals going live right after. Now for myself, the casters, the entire live broadcast crew, thank you to Mithy for joining us, to all of our guests throughout the days, and thank you to you for watching at home. We'll see you next week for more of the North American Regional Qualifiers. Good night.